Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Future Forward Sales Podcast. I'm your host, Lynn, and today I'm joined by our special guest, Nicole Majik. And we have an incredible conversation because we're going to be talking about how to live a life you deserve without compromising who you are. And I want to tell you a little bit about our wonderful guest, Nicole. Nicole has an interesting and extensive background with a bachelor's degree in biochemistry, a master's in metaphysics, and experience as a financial advisor. She is an accomplished leadership and empowerment strategist and educator and has created a highly effective life transforming empowerment program, The Alchemy of Transformation. Nicole awakens your true potential by erasing limiting beliefs and showing you how to live a life you deserve without compromise who you are or what you love. She has appeared on various radio shows, local TV, as a keynote speaker for international conferences, and has even appeared on the Travel Channel for Greatest Mysteries, Smithsonian, as well as Beyond the Unknown. That sounds like a fun show. To check that out after this. So, using the strategic formulas of her empowerment program, The Alchemy of Transformation, along with CBT and NLP techniques, Nicole helps you permanently erase self sabotaging beliefs and transform your obstacles into the opportunities to achieve the success you desire. Nicole, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Lynn. Thank you for having me.
Well, I am so excited to get started. And for any of you who are joining us for that very first time, take this moment and subscribe to Future Forward Sales wherever you get your podcasts. And if you love what we're doing and you love the show, please take that extra couple of seconds and give us a 5-star review. We would very much appreciate it. Okay, so Nicole, let's get this started. And, obviously I went through your amazing bio, but tell us a little bit more about you and what your company does.
Ah, there's so many different things that because we have so many aspects of us, right? I'm a mom of four. One of my sons is in the Air Force, so I'm an Air Force mom, and didn't think that was going to happen, but it did. And I loved working in chemistry. I almost died from mercury poisoning,
Oh,
so I had turned away from being a chemist after that. And I've had this business for 14 years as an empowerment specialist and the alchemist and everything like that. So I love working with people to really, really bring them into a new state of being, to be more present, to be more conscious, and to really just take hold of their true potential. So I love doing that using the techniques that I do and the experience that I have, as well as the background that I have too. It's just a lot of fun seeing people step into everything that they can be.
yeah, what an incredible, wonderful feeling. And to see that transformation. What is the biggest challenge your clients face?
I think most people fall into a category where it's the scarcity mode, and that covers everything, whether it's time, energy, resources, money, all of that, where I don't have enough. I don't have enough time. I don't have enough this. I don't have enough that. And a lot of it comes down to money and time, right?
Yeah,
Because there just never is enough unless you can really become present and see what what needs to be and have the clarity and focus to make it happen.
yeah. So this issue of scarcity, and certainly I'm very familiar, especially with the time, not having enough or feeling like I don't have enough, which is why I
Right.
use my aspiration that there are so many things I get to do today to reframe my mindset. But really looking at that scarcity issue and around time and money, why is this more urgent than ever?
Because it's never going to go away until you do something about it, right? And it seems to get worse and worse as time goes on. And uh, it's funny the little things that we tell ourselves in the process, because even when you start shifting, I remember back when I started shifting my mindset, and it was always, I started saying, oh well, the universe always provides, and i always I always have what I need. And then I realized at some point, I do always have what I need, but I want what I want. I want more than
Yeah.
just the basics. And shifting into a different space of really having an abundance mentality and creating that abundance in all areas, it shifts much bigger. And then it becomes almost like a game of how much can I accomplish in life, and just being in this space of full acceptance of all of the good things and all of the gifts that the universe has to offer. It's a much different feel than, well, I'm always provided for. I get what I need.
Yeah, no, I understand where you're coming from with that, and that's such a crucial piece. And I think for those people who are having that challenge of the scarcity of time and money, I'd love to hear your take on what that's and how that's impacting them or costing um, these individuals or your clients their ultimate goal.
Ooh, that is a big one. Lynn, you opened up the can of worms on that
Yeah,
one.
okay, Pandora, we opened the box.
It's, oh gosh. So think about when you're always in that loop of not enough time
Yeah,
or the money, right? You're always in this space of, I can't find the time. I can't find the time. I have to find the time. I have to find the time. And there are all these things that we tell ourselves or we tell other people. And if we just actually get present and focus in, we can slough off all the worries of not being able to do things that we want to do. Because if there's never enough time, it's where are you spending that time? Because time's being wasted somewhere
yeah,
and not prioritized. So we get into this space, people tend to fall into the trap of the loop of chaos. My life is chaos, and there's just not enough. There's not enough time. There's not enough time. And you hear it. Well, I'll try. I'll try to be there. You don't have it prioritized. If somebody, sharing a little secret and gonna out your friends right now, is when somebody tells you, when you invite them somewhere and they say, "Oh, I'll try and stop by. I'll try to get there." They have no intention of getting there. Take that as a no, chalk it up, because it's not a priority. There's
yeah,
your big hint right there. As soon as someone says, oh, I'll try,
yeah. Yeah,
gone.
absolutely. I would agree with that tenfold. And instead of, being graceful about saying, these are the things that I'm working on right now, and I need to stay focused on them. I would love to be able to be there, but, this is, as I've mentioned, I'm just not going to be able to fit this in, and just being straightforward about it. I think most people are going to respect that. But also, recognizing, well, what are things that you're doing that maybe you could, to your point, shift or let go of.
Right,
There's just sort of to your point, is the chaos of your own making, or there's certain individuals who are causing a lot of chaos that you could have a conversation with within your family circle and say, this is how it impacts me, and how can we work together to make it easier for both of us.
right.
So I think these are, I'm just sort of spitballing here, but I'd love to hear more from you about some of the hidden critical success factors that you deliver to your clients.
Ooh, there, when we get really into the beliefs behind the behaviors, the beliefs behind the thoughts, the beliefs behind the emotions, because our beliefs are tied to a thought and an emotion. And those beliefs also, because they're tied to a thought and an emotion, it creates certain actions in us, which create the behaviors, the habits. And when we can hone in on what beliefs are supported in your mind, uh, a lot of times we can erase well, we can erase any belief, really. And we want to erase negative beliefs that turn into self sabotage. And when we hone in on those beliefs, the thing that happens is many times people can think about it and say, well, yeah, my mind says that that's not true. Like, I am loved, I am worthy, right?
Yeah.
That's something that people know. I am worthy. They know that up here, but there's an emotion that's in here that says, but not all the time, or not for that particular thing, or not as much as that person.
Yeah.
And that's really where the belief is, that we can say, yes, I know I'm loved and I know I'm worthy. But if there's something that's in there that kind of goes, ooh, but not to the full extent, not all the time, not 100%, or for certain particular things, that's what we want to hone in on, and take that away and
Right.
fill it with the true belief that I am. So I have different techniques that I go through with my clients depending on the situation. Everything is so tailored because it's how your beliefs are registering and what needs to happen. So is one thing swapped for another, or do we really need to pluck something entirely out? And then how your beliefs play around with each other. I actually use I actually use like I create this assessment, go through the analysis, and then I put everything in an order. It's almost like a hierarchy, like uh, my analogy is with like a mob boss, because you've got you really one that is a big bad culprit that's like, I want to sabotage your entire life. I want to take you all out. And then you've got the sub ones. So you've got literally that big bad one that's your mob boss, and then you've got, the right hand men are the next ones that are really wreaking havoc in different areas, but it's all related to that one. And then you've got like a bunch of other little ones that support that
Yeah.
system, right? So you've got all the guys that are, or the people that are involved, or the people that are getting paid off, or whatever the case is. You've got this whole network. And if you hone in and pluck off the boss, the rest start to fall away.
Yeah.
So it's more like I really create this system to really get at the biggest, baddest ones, to get you to shift as much as possible with as little effort as possible. And then it's like, oh my gosh, look at what's happening. Look what's happening. I can't even say it.
Yeah.
My
No.
English goes away when I get excited about things. And I just love seeing people get into that space and then go, yeah, I think I feel different. And then I get love letters over the course of the next few days or week or whatever, saying, oh my God, you're never going to believe this. So I'm like, yes, tell me, I will. It's so fun.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And what I really liked what you said is that everything is custom configured for the how to get your client from through that transformation. It's not like a cookie cutter and a mold. Instead, it's you're really tuning into who they are and what's going on with them and within, to help them break free and escape those limiting beliefs. That's brilliant. Um,
Thank you.
so when you're, these self-limiting beliefs that people have, I mean, typically they're a blind spot. People don't even recognize that they're doing it. So I know that for myself, one of the biggest things I've, is learning how to say no with grace, because I would always want to, you know, I want to give value and be of service and to help others. So I'm just like, I had this tendency to say yes. And then you bring on the overwhelm or the chaos all on your own.
Yes.
And so that was, for me, that was recognizing that, ooh, I do this all the time, and literally trying to bite my tongue, so that I'm not saying, oh, I can do this. Oh, I can do that. In fact, you and I were on a call this morning that I was sitting there going like, bite your tongue, bite your tongue, bite your tongue. So how do you help people who, like when they do have that blind spot, just so that they can suddenly shift their paradigm to see it?
Ooh, yeah, because everything, we have to recognize that our subconscious is 1,000 times more powerful than the conscious. And we do things. I like to put it in the sense of, when somebody says, oh, when you say that or do that, you sound or look just like your mother. And or somebody else in the family, and you're like, no, please no.
Yeah,
And it's
please.
it's that same thing, right? Like, it's the same thing when you do something subconsciously. You don't know you're doing it. You don't know you're saying it a certain way or acting in a certain manner, and it's still like, oh my gosh, why would that happen? And we have to see outside of ourselves and look in to be able to figure that out. And that's why sometimes people will say things to me. We have a conversation, and then I point out stuff that they said. You said this, and this is what I'm hearing and seeing. And all the time people, oh my gosh, I never even realized that,
Wow.
or I never even looked at it this way. And that is fun because when they have that moment of, oh,
Yeah. Light
right,
bulb.
the
Yeah.
light bulb does go off. And I want to get back to what you said about saying no gracefully, because everybody that's listening, take this down, mental note, physical note, whatever it is. If you struggle with saying yes, 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 yes. Many times it's because guess what's happening? Your heartstring is being pulled. I want to help people. I want to be there. I want to make a difference. I just want to be the best that I can be. And in the moment, your emotions can come up and makes you want to, yes, I'll do that. Or yes, I'll help. Or yes, 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 yes. But then later on, we go, oh, I probably shouldn't have done that. I have so much stuff on my plate. I had not enough time. There's not enough time. Back to that.
Yeah.
And so when we can feel in that moment, recognize, yes, I want to help. If we can take a breath, just remember, just take a breath in and ask yourself, do I really want to? And just say no first inside of your head. Say no. And does that actually make you feel lighter? Or does the no actually make you say, no, I have to do this. I really, really want to. Like, I have to because I want to. And if you say that no first and see where it shifts your body, that's the first thing that will indicate whether you should say one thing versus another. And the other part is sometimes you just need that moment to discover, right? If you're not able to make that decision right there, it's more take a breath and just say, you know what? I really want to help on that. I have to check on a few things before I can commit. But let me get back to you tonight, tomorrow. I usually say in the morning, whatever that is, because you want that time. If you take a little bit of time to process things and then usually are like, oh my God, hours later, oh my God, I don't want to do that. I really don't. I don't have the time because I have to do something else that's a priority that I want to do. And if you go into that space, then you have the time to settle out of the emotional rise, think logically, put things into perspective, and prioritize, and then you can give your answer.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually call that the powerful pause,
Yeah.
Nicole, and I use that in all. That's become one of my mantras. Sort of is that you take that moment, and for me, sometimes it literally is biting my tongue, so
Hmm.
that. And to your point, there's a number of ways you can go with it. You can, some things you can rapidly process there, including like a little mental inventory of what's on your what's on your agenda for the day or the week, or the month, depending on what the timeline is. Also, you can like, well, how easy, is this going to be for me? Is this like a huge stretch that I'm going to have to learn a whole bunch of things, which is then going to radically impact my schedule? So, you can do that rapid inventory,
Right.
but you can also do the same thing as saying, you know, I need to think about this. And you can either not say anything or you can volunteer that. I need to process this and take a look at what we have over the next month to see if we could fit something like this in. You can say whatever you have. Um, and so I love that because that is like one essential action everyone who's listening right now can take is that moment, as Nicole called it, I call it the powerful pause. And so that you can first say no, which I think is great because it does let you sort of sit emotionally. But one thing is, if you are a people pleaser or you're always saying yes and you're driven by this desire to help and serve others, then you've got to really sort of take a stronger moment to pause because that subconscious is going to be trying to bust out and say, well, no, I don't feel good about this. Yes, I want to do this. And you need to let it sit for a little bit and percolate. So I think that was a wonderful way for us to end today, Nicole. And I loved everything that you talked about on how to live a life you deserve without compromising who you are. And I'd love you to share with our audience how they can learn more about you and where they can find you.
Ooh, you can learn more about me on my website, which is majikllc.com, MAJIKLLC.com. And my products and services are also listed on at NicoleMajik.com. I am on many different social media platforms. If you look up Majik LLC or Nicole Majik on any of those, you will find me.
Absolutely. And we're going to make sure that all of those links are below so they're one click away. And, I have to tell you that Nicole and I are both going to be on the Women Prosperity Alliance Summit that's coming up at the end of March. So, depending on when you're listening to this, it's 2022, March 31st, 2022. And it's just been such an honor and privilege to get to know Nicole and be working with her, and I'm so excited to be on the summit and share the stage with someone as amazing as Nicole. So thank you, Nicole.
Uh,
And for everyone who tuned in, yes, if you have thoughts you'd like to share or ideas, you can leave us a comment down below. We love hearing your thoughts. And if you'd have a question or would like to suggest a topic for discussion, you can email us at jointheconversation@petitequeen.com. And to stay current on all of our insightful advice on breakthrough advantages, you can sign up for our weekly wisdoms newsletter at petitequeen.com, and you won't miss a single episode like this one or the information about the Women Prosperity Alliance Summit that Nicole and I will be on.
Very exciting.
I know it is. And thank you again, Nicole, and thank you to everyone who tuned in.
Thank you, Lynn. The feeling is mutual working with you.